back to week 9 of the Glen Ivan Reaper Challenge. This week, we're going to talk about shot recoveries. So, most of the time when we throw these shots out, we've been really practicing on making sure our body mechanics are tight, that our extensions are good, and that we're hitting our target in the right area. This week, we're going to slow it back down. Let's talk about the return shots. So, many times, I'm sure that us as fighters have experienced throwing these shots out. And as we're coming back, if they didn't land, that you get hit right upside the head and the body or whatever as they're following your stick back. So we're going to do active blocking on returns. So there's 2 major types. You could do tip up and tip down recoveries, which that means if I throw out here and I do tip up, I keep my tip up as I bring it back. Tip down is just more of a downward angle as you recover. This week we're going to focus on tent blocks, okay? Tent blocks were something that we used to do when I started out in the SCA all the time. You can sit there with a partner, practice your shots, practice your recoveries over and over and over. I haven't seen as much of it anymore, so I'm going to kind of bring it back. So you look at it like this. Let's say I'm going to go to this offside head, right? So I get my stance and I throw out. If I do this, you can see the entire time that my head, this area here, this quadrant, is available to get hit. So if I throw out and I drop my stick back and turn, I'm using my stick as a form of blocking my head as I recover. So you can throw out, block, and then bring it back down to your spot. Now, the longer you stay out of your stance, the better chance you have of getting hit. So you want to do your shot and get back into your defense, right? So with these, this is just a way to recover where you can move back. Now, I'm not talking about throw out like this and then have all your defense on one side. So if we're doing this and I throw out and I come back, you can see I got this side covering this and I have my stick covering this, and you can just rotate back. Same thing with your onside shots. So if I throw out here at this angle, I can drop my tip, recover, and then come back. It kind of reminds me a lot of whenever I started out, how I said we used to practice this. I used to see videos of people doing this almost like a kata. It was almost like a martial arts. They would throw the shots and they would practice these stances. Looked really smooth and cool, and I never was that cool to be able to do it. But you can see, we'll work this up into something later, but this week, if you throw out, really practice that slow recovery. I want you to really be thinking about what do I have covered with my stick as I return it. When you throw it out, down, and recover. Now the leg shots are going to be a little bit different. You can, especially if you're going to that offside leg and you're extending out to hit it, you can block that stick and come back. So when you're throwing out, covering yourself with your stick. The onside leg shot is a little different because if I throw down here, I don't want to do a tip down recovery, so practice coming up and then bringing it back. Really do these. Think about it like almost by the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And practice it really slow. We'll speed it up later. If this is not something you're familiar with, I really urge you, take your time with it, okay? I know we're over halfway there, so slowing it back down again might seem a little overkill. But I want to practice getting these motions down, and we'll speed it up later. We're going to stick with the same wrap shot again. When you practice it, look, we've been doing that since day 1 of the first week. It should be looking crisp and clean. Whenever you step out on that field at TOC, you're going to be throwing those wraps without even thinking about it. But we're just adding on to it step by step. I want to say I really appreciate the social media team for letting me keep doing this over and over and over again. And I'm really proud of the people that are still hanging in there. We got something in the works. One of our members has offered to make Reaper coins for us, just for the people that finish this first round, and I'm very appreciative. So thank you all so much. I'm going to keep telling y'all thank you until you're tired of me hearing it, because I really appreciate you guys. So let's knock this week out, and I'll see you again next week.